You listen to the Asa Park podcast.
The Asa Park podcast.
So I think I made between 5 or 7 really, really bad movies about the Danish Friendship Association and why it supported North Korea. And what I didn't know was that Anders in advance have been sending those videos to North Korea. So they have been broadcasted on North Korea television. So when I arrived in Pyongyang, they thought I was their friend. I was their friend. And I was only filming to show the good parts of the country. And that makes me able to film the first time. But then it just took a serious turn in North Korea the first time, because I met up with a Spaniard, which is Alejandro Cao de Benós. He's a...
Yes. The antagonist of the story, one of them at least.
My old best friend, you know.
How was that meeting? How did you meet him, and why did he had such a liking for you? It seemed to me that there was a lot of people going down there because I think you have to explain that these friendships associations, there are several of them around the world. So you were part of the Danish one, but
and the Danish
there's several.
The Danish
of them, right?
is independent from the Korean Friendship Association, which is the Alejandro's association. In Korean, what is it? The Korean Friendship Association for cultural, whatever he likes to call it, in a big smoke. We went to a banquet for dinner, and I heard about Alejandro. They call him the Spanish soldier, and they laughed a bit about him because being a Western, going around in North Korean parade uniforms with medals on, he's singing opera at the national stage in Pyongyang, and then suddenly our way just crossed, because my guide at that point, which will follow me the whole story, so Mr. Kang, he introduced me for Alejandro. And I think that my film, small video clips, and my personality, and the role I was playing as a great supporter of North Korea was something that Alejandro find likable. Also because many of the people in his association, and normally I don't speak bad about people, but it's difficult not to in this situation, because
it's very hard.
Because many of his supporters are people who is unemployed or maybe doing minor crimes, have problem with the system in Spain or other countries, and it's like they see a father figure in him, and he's a good people talking that, hey, if you have a problem, why don't you join me? We're supporting North Korea. It's a country where you hear a lot of shit about, but the real true story of North Korea is an independent country that supports every human being, caring for them, giving them an apartment or a house, a job, education, hospital system, dental system, everything is for free. You work with the country for the country. You are the country. And I think people that are, under big pressure, unemployed, or, maybe been...
He's exploiting vulnerable people. Yeah. And all of a sudden, here comes this Danish guy who seems intelligent, and that kind of like you have your own opinions, and somehow you still want to seem to love this weird country that he's fallen in love with. So I'm guessing that he sees this is my right-hand guy. This guy can actually get something done because of being mean here. But all these other losers, they're just here for they're just hanging around my legs, and it's hard to walk. Here's a guy who can help me carry these losers around.
Yeah, and also because I was awarded a medal by the regime, a friendship medal, a first degree, for my great work with the videos. So I was also trusted by the North Korean system. And he simply said to me, well, when you're back home in your country, Denmark, could you send me an email? And he gave me his card. I was like, yeah, sure. Not paying any attention at all for that. And then, coming back to Denmark after the first stop in, and I need to tell everybody before I'm going on, twice in North Korea in 2012, I was close to Kim Jong-Un. One of the time I was between 2 or 3 meters from him, walking past me and looked me in the eyes. And I was not fearing him walking past, because you just have to play the role. But if he would want to shake hands with somebody, I was like, I don't want to do it. because I don't shake hands with murderers or people that doing, human rights violations.
Yeah.
But of course, if he gives me, I have to do it. So being close to that guy, and you could literally see in the eyes of Kim Jong-Un that I'm in command. It was stiff, staring.
Yeah.
Very, very scary. And I think if you live in that country and never been out, you just know if he looks at you, you did something wrong, probably.
Okay.
Or you accept it.
He doesn't look. I've just seen Kim Jong Un on footages, and honestly, in my opinion, he looks a bit silly. Like he does not look menacing. He looks like someone like. I don't think I could beat up a lot of people, but I think I could have probably had a chance against him.
I actually think everybody could beat him, but the power and the story from his family in the past makes him so feared, because he's probably 170 high.
On a good day.
Yeah, and if you push him, he will probably roll faster than he will walk.
But you would have like 100 soldiers shooting at you.
No questions asked,
seconds.
just goodbye,
Yeah.
But I came back to Denmark and it was, I didn't show anything. I did a lot of recordings of streets and parades and the usual things. And told Mads Brügger that, hey, I met this guy up and he sounds interesting, but also a bit weirdo, And he said, well, write him, send him an email. And I did. And, he wanted me to be his, official delegate of his association because he didn't have a branch in Denmark. So I arranged with him that I will visit him in Spain. He lives south of Barcelona, like 80 kilometers south. And we met up at my hotel in Barcelona. I actually did a story that, well, I'm actually coming to Barcelona, I'm going to watch football, big Barcelona fan. Yeah. So for me, it was a win-win, And I said, well, book your flights and, see what happened. No cameras, nothing, just meeting him up. And, talking with him, and it was bizarre because he had his assistant with him, as I like to refer. And he was walking like 2 meters behind him outside, and he was just sitting in a chair next to us with a briefcase, like a real agent movie or something, spy movie. And then Alejandro said, well, if you want this, I will send you the instructions what you can do and not do when you officially is a part of North Korea. I said, okay. And I have a lot of info on email, and he ends up in the letter, in the mail, saying, if you know somebody who wants to invest money in North Korea, between, I can't remember, it's 50,000 euros to €1 million, we can maybe do something together. And then from that point on, going to this Monty Python sketchy Danish association, to talking about investing in North Korea, which is illegal, which is sanction busting. That really caught the attention and twist the story a bit. And so he wanted me to find an investor, and actually Norway, where you're sitting. But
did it go that quickly? From what I understand from the documentary, in the beginning, you're not quite sure who is this guy? What does he want?
Well,
but eventually
it took
he
2 years.
Started to push you.
Yeah, well, when he started, I was like, okay, that's interesting. I would like to check in the market or see if there's any people. And if I came with an investor on day 3, it would be quite suspicious. So actually, from that point on, when he asked the first time until we introduced an investor, was approximately 3 years going on. And in those 3 years, I was traveling to all the meetings around the world in the KFA, Korean Friendship Association, simply building up the network, gaining the trust of the people, doing literally stupid speeches about praising North Korea.
Because this is, I think this doesn't, in the documentary
even mention,
of course, everybody has to go watch it.
I even mentioned there could be a fifth colonel mole in the association, so we have to be aware of what happened.
But I'm just, because this is, how many meetings, like how much work are we talking about here in order to gain the trust?
Well, I think until between 2013 to 2016, I went to Spain, and Spain at least 12 times, And I've been to Ireland, Belgium, Germany, Sweden, Norway.
Are there a Norwegian Friendship Association, by the way?
No, there wasn't, but we arranged a meeting with an investor in Oslo.
Oh yeah. I remember.
I was actually also the official delegate of Norway. So from Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. I was awarded 4 countries because I was such a bright shining star in the North Koreans' eyes and Alejandro's eyes, because I showed my love to the leaders. And when you show the love to your leaders, you accept it 100%.
But did you get paid? Who paid for this when you went to all these? Is this something that the who funds the Korean Friendship Association?
The Korean Friendship Association. They found themselves, but the travel that I did was paid by the filmmakers.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, who's funding Carlos and all his? Does he? I'm guessing he gets paid by the North Koreans.
I think a lot of the money he gets is was by arranging travel to North Korea, because the first time I was there, it was expensive.
Yeah.
But when I have to bring in an investor and go there, he should arrange it for us. And it was like 3 times the price, and only flights from Beijing to Pyongyang, North Korea, so we have to arrange everything. So I think he literally take his cut, and I was also delivered a envelope with a lot of euros I have to hand over to the North Koreans, and I had some money back to him as well. I think that's how Alejandro's operate. And then he probably find investors that maybe
and takes a cut.
Yeah, but he maybe if they invest 20,000 euros, I have the suspicion that he will just put them in his pocket and then wait and say, I can't guarantee you anything. I gave you money, but I just gave you the way to talk with them. I'm out of it now. It's yours, so you have to contact them. I think that's how it works for him. Now he can't leave Spain, so his passport is withdrawn for 9 years now. So and that's good.
So this is interesting. So the Korean, because I was thinking maybe that the North Korea was funding these, like the Korean Friendship Association, as an investment of sorts in reaching criminals who might be willing to skip the sanctions and invest in them. But it's even stranger than that, so that these crazy people operating these friendship associations, a lot of them are just old communist farts who doesn't know any better. But there are some true evil persons like Carlos, and what you portrayed yourself to be, who's kind of, or maybe you didn't actually. You tried to say that you are just so in love with the leader that you're willing to sacrifice everything in order to help them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your whole life basically. But Carlos, he is just.
I need to correct you, Alejandro.
Sorry. No, Alejandro. I'm saying Carlos because his name is Alejandro Cao de Benós. Sorry, I've said Carlos several times.
Yeah, it's okay.
But Alejandro, he has found sort of a venture in. Do you believe that? We were skipping ahead, but do you believe that Alejandro actually believes what he's saying, or do you think that he is just a criminal who has found a way to make some money?
The last thing. He's a criminal.
Yeah.
He's a criminal, he's a narcissist, and he's a psychopath, in my opinion. And I spoke with professional people, a former CIA agent who says that his profile is narcissist, psychopath. And
so he knows better. He's actually quite smart, but he pretends to love North Korea because he's found himself a good gig.
Yeah, it's a way of making money and maybe gain some power when he's in North Korea. And the most bizarre thing about Alejandro is he knew from the first time he met me that I was a criminal. So that's why he wanted to interfere with me, to expose me as a criminal. So that's his difference.
That's what he's saying now.
But fantastic. That's great,
He was poor. He did that poorly.
I think if him and me still were friends, we could probably easily have gained us to some great money in our pocket and framing people all around the world. Because he is working for North Korea because that's how he can make money, and he's good playing the role. But growing up in Spain, in almost freedom as well. And then finding North Korea so fascinating. It doesn't really make sense, you know.